How y'all doing? If you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe down below. So, it is 1,000 days that these items have been listed. Been cracking away at a few different things. We got two different, very distinct collectible slash board game pieces. And I have a lot of them, unfortunately. First thing we're going to talk about is Domino Rally. So this came out in the 80s, and this is one of those hot, I think this came out in the summer for some reason, but a lot of times, Christmas was the only time people got gifts. Christmas and your birthday, whatever. So all the toys kind of front-loaded on Christmas. I don't know if that's a thing anymore. But Domino Rally, it was one of those things that was kind of like more fun in your mind than it really was, because it was a pain in the ass to set up. Now they have vehicles that line up the dominoes perfectly spaced. Yeah, we didn't have that. So I bought, I think I've told this before, but one of the thrift shops I go to, as a rule, I'm nice to everybody, but at the thrift shops, I'm especially nice because people remember you. If you've ever worked in retail, people that are nice, you remember them, you're happy they're there because you know what you're going to get. And there's a lady that works there, and she came out and saw me. She's like, "Oh, yeah, you like board games, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." She's like, "Hold on." And somebody had just dumped off a 70s and 80s board game stash, like 20 or 30 games. And I dropped like $80. I definitely made my money back, but this was one of the things that was in here, and I still got it. So, problem with Domino Rally is, for a reseller perspective, this is the box that came in. I broke my chroma key. Great. So, this is a big honkin' box. What do we got a dimension on here? We've got 18 by 14 by 4. So that's going to cost you some money to ship. The box was never in good shape. You could see all the tape damage on it. And it wasn't complete. It was missing, if you ever get into Domino Rally, the rocket is the hardest part to find. I don't know why. I think probably when kids get bored with it, they took the rocket out to do other stuff. And that's why it's the hardest piece to find. So what do you do when you have a whole bunch of Domino Rally pieces? You part it out. I've been selling these for over 1,000 days. I made my money back on it. I think I paid $5 for the whole box. But we're going to just go through and look at all the parts I have and see, did I price them too high? And the other interesting thing with Domino Rally that is currently unique to Domino Rally, but is going to become a problem, is 3D printing. People figured out you could 3D print these pieces, but they're not very complicated. It's just like some hingy, the dominoes just have pegs on either side, and like a little strip with places to put the pegs. And people have reproduced these. You can get different color schemes and all kinds of stuff. And that's starting to creep into other toys. Star Wars is the one that's been affected lately. People are making reproductions of the weapons. And the weapons are worth like 3 times as much as the figures. And that's become a concern, that you're going to be buying reproduction weapons for your original figure, and you're not going to necessarily know, and how do you tell, etc., etc. The other thing we're going to get into is Pez dispensers. So when I started out, there's a thrift shop that's still in business, but the dynamic has changed. It was my favorite one, and they just took in a lot of old stuff, and a lot of stuff that fit for what I was doing. Old toys, and they priced it. It's a charity thing, so they priced it really low. As time went on, they stopped taking in as much toys, and the owner kind of figured out some stuff had value and started eBaying stuff to, and that's fine. They're allowed to operate business however they want, but it took some stuff out of circulation. Anyways, one of the big finds I got there, big in quotations, is 5 gallons of Pez dispensers. There was 5 1-gallon bags full of them for $21. And I've made my money back, but I'm sitting on about 2 gallons worth of them at least, maybe 3. And we got to figure out what we're going to do with these things. And Pez is one of those things that was it was a quirky thing to collect in the 80s. Oh, Pez dispensers, I collect those. I was like the quintessential nerd thing to do. And, the supply is infinite. They still sell them. And the demand is dwindling over time because it's not quirky anymore. Some people do it, but few and far between. You got to price them accordingly. And obviously I haven't done that. We have to figure out what we're going to do with these. So let's look at a few different pieces. All right, so here's what I got. I have a sealed pack of original Dominoes from Domino Rally. I have several curves. I got 3 of these. And then straights. I got 6. That's the one I showed prior. I think this part is called the snake or the roller coaster. And these are easy to set up, and then as such. We have this part, which is like a launcher. I think it launched a marble. And this domino has like a weight on the back. And this you hook up to a rubber band. And when it hit that, the car would shoot forward. That depresses it. The rubber band always rots off. That's not important. But that piece. We have this piece, which creates some kind of wacky mechanic. So if you balance it correctly, those all sit there. And when you lever it, they all fall and you can knock dominoes down in 5 directions. We have a stairway. This all fits the original set. And then we have the elevator, but I'm missing parts of it. But I do have this weight, which is another rare part. Where'd we go wrong? Why do I still have so much of this? All right, let's take a look at our listings. So, vintage Domino Rally replacement dominoes. And I got it for $10, and that may be the problem. I may have priced this too high. At the time, it made sense. I wouldn't have priced it. I do take in new in box toys, and I just have an idea of what I want to get for it. And I don't care how long it takes to sell because it's new in the box. The condition is perfect. It's never going to go down in value realistically. This, I would not have done that. So this had to have been the floor at the time. This had to have been a good price. And the supply must have gone up. The supply of ones for sale at any rate, or the demand went down. And people adjusted their prices, and I obviously didn't, because I have no views and no watchers on those dominoes. That's another thing that's being reproduced, however. The deluxe starburst part, nothing. The I have it named mystery piece. That may also be a problem because obviously nobody's looking for mystery piece. I'm gonna have to rename that. That's my bad. But double bridge, 0, nothing. $8. The straight pieces. I got a watcher and I have sold some of these, but I still got 6. And then the curves. And then, let's see. The parts for the elevator. $6 plus shipping. And see, this is my bad. We're going to fix that right now. I thought that was a good idea at the time. And obviously it wasn't. So I'm going to fix that before I forget. And we're going to call it 9 because it is kind of big. And we're going to do free shipping. So that's why we review this stuff, is I obviously screwed up on that list. But let's just dig into Domino Rally itself and figure out where we have gone wrong. So just putting in Domino Rally, we have 728 Domino Rallies going. What is our sell-through? 70. So right away, we are below 10% sell-through. That's a problem. Now, we're going to look at what's selling. What's selling are the sets complete. Lots of parts. We can immediately see what my problem is. I'm selling these strips for $8. This guy's selling the whole shebang for 20. But it's mostly full sets. Now, I never had the full set, so that wasn't an option. Now, these are... Oh, okay, no, that's from a set, but you're going to run into Domino Rally, and it'll say, like, reproduction parts, and sometimes they just look weird. They're not in color schemes that make sense to Domino Rally. You know, this guy did a bid, which was a terrible idea, and he sold all that stuff, but I'm competing with this, so this is what the problem is. So there isn't a lot of parts going on here. We can also clear this and do Domino Rally parts. And we got 213. Now these are going to be sets for parts only. Now I have a bag of dominoes, and mine's 10, and this one's 8. 805, whatever. So we got individual dominoes. We got this piece, and they're selling it for more than mine now that I fixed it, at any rate. So, you know, this is an example of something we could do. I have 6 of these. I can change that listing and make it all 6 for whatever, $10. This guy has the identical bag of parts. Mine are a little cheaper. Curves. We got the double bridge, which, that's my listing. Never mind. That's me. I did it in a different setup. I didn't notice in the background. So this is called Hill. So I may have names wrong for these things too. All right, so let's dig into the listings that I have. Okay. Immediately Domino Rally. This is too expensive. We're being priced out on this one. So we are going to do 8. Dropped by $2. I'm now the cheapest guy here for that. Move that aside. All right. Next up, we have Starburst part. I didn't even notice this anywhere. Is it called Starburst? Did I make that up? So Starburst, here's mine. It's just too weird of a name for people to have made up. So I had to have gotten it from something. Now, is this a commonly broken part? Are people looking for it? So we got 8 for sale and 0 sold. So that tells me is we are going to end that listing. We are going to get rid of this. Ultimately, I have 2 bins of these 2 things, and I'd like to get that down to 1 bin. I did some consolidation today. It was nice. I want to do more of that. Okay, we have Mystery Piece, and we should probably figure out what this is, but quite frankly, I don't think it's anything. And I'm not sure why I have it. It must go to maybe not the original set. Now, if I have the box here, I don't know if it depicts everything. It actually does. So we got the rocket ship. I don't have this. That's already sold, I believe. Zigzag, I know I sold. We have Power Tower Elevator. We have... Oh, the double hill isn't part of this. Okay, interesting. The Starburst. Oh, okay. I see. It actually says Starburst here. So that must be from a set that isn't a thing anymore. Or I couldn't figure out what set it went to. Given the sell-through on this stuff, we are just going to delist that. Never speak of it again. That's gone. Now, double bridge. Is that what that's called? Because I saw somebody put it down as a hill. So we're going to... If you're not sure what something is, and you don't really want to do a deep dive, Domino Rally Hill. And what do we got? 16 people called this hill. Oh, okay, we can see it in this picture. So this might give us a clue. Because there it is. It goes to Domino Rally Classic from... That's not the original. So 89 perhaps, and they have all the pictures. I'm hoping for the back of the box, but it doesn't look like it. This doesn't have a hill. Racing doesn't look like it's in there. Oh, they did have a Domino Rally car. I don't even know why I have Domino Rally. So this is an older Domino Rally basic set. So maybe after the rocket ship, they did a different one. Or deluxe. Oh, basic and deluxe. Okay. I don't really remember. You know, it's tough. We're going in the way back time machine here. But either way, hill didn't really generate a lot. So what do I call it? Bridge. So we have the bridge. That's mine. All right, so I called it a hill. Or I called it a bridge and I was wrong, possibly. So going back to hill, 16 hills. And it's not going to be confused with anything else because I'm just not seeing it pop up as an individual part. And if we go to sold, we have nothing. Nothing called hill is being sold. So nothing for sale, but nothing sold. So does that mean that it would sell if it was out there or not? Now the problem is, now we're looking at weight. I have it for 8. It's pretty heavy. I can't go lower than 8. But I can rename it because I think I'm wrong on double bridge. I think I made that up. So we will revise this, and it will now be known as Double Bridge Hill Basic. So we kind of touched on all the names that we saw it under. And, yeah, we'll change the weight because I know for sure it is not 4 ounces. We already got free shipping. We're going to give that another chance. We'll see just because there's not any for sale. All right. Where were we? We got these straight pieces. So, let's be aggressive here and just sell this as a lot. 6 and 3. So I will delete this one because I have no views on it anyways. And we're going to... I was going to reset the 1,000 days, but we're going to delete this one too. And we're going to do a whole listing of just these, and we'll do $12 for the whole thing. That's very competitive. And those parts have kind of sort of been selling. That's bagged up, and the only thing we have left is this. And this is Power Tower, and I just priced it, but just so we're keeping an eye on stuff, I want to actually see if anybody's buying this. So if I put power, that's going to narrow it down pretty quick, I think. And here we go. So I got this piece, I got the stand, I got the weight, I have this, and I got that. I have the whole thing. And because I priced it, I am now the cheapest one out here. It looks like 21, and I'm fine with that. I could be a little more in line with these guys, but I just would rather it be gone. So 21 for sale. 0 sold. So that's not great, but I am the cheapest. Yeah. But yeah, nobody's buying this, so so then the question becomes, is nobody buying it because it's too expensive? So we're going to leave the listing. We're going to wait and see on that, because I am by far the cheapest now. And we'll circle back in a little bit, and we'll see if anybody's looked at it. But now we got a whole other bin that we have to go through of pets. So, like I said, this was a thing. And is it still a thing? I'm kind of thinking not. Less than ever before, perhaps. But we'll do the same thing, though. We're going to dig into pets. If I just put Pez, we'll just do dispensers. 82,000 Pez dispensers for sale. If this is a 10% sell-through, I'm going to be shocked. It's not. It's like an 8. It's like an 8% sell-through. This is not good. Wow. Vintage Pez. And we're looking at what is selling. So these are real old. We got ones, desirable ones still in the pack. And they made Pez for everything. The people that collect look for different areas of manufacturing to complete sets. There's just tons and tons and tons of Pez. Now, 8% is not good sell-through, but we're looking at what's going. I can tell you right now, I've already sold most of the stuff we're seeing. So I have Easter Pez. Now, these aren't super old, I don't think. Pop it open and look. I don't recall. I don't think they even have years on them. So this one just says Yugoslavia, which I guess dates it because Yugoslavia has not existed in quite some time. Slovenia. Disney. Now the issue we run into with Pez is there is definitely a bottom dollar I can accept because these are deceptively heavy. So I got about 10 pens dispensers in here. And this is a Disney lot I have. That's 8 ounces. So that's actually going to cost me almost $6 to ship. So I can't sell it for $8. That doesn't make any sense. So I have been selling them as lots because price-wise it didn't make sense to do individuals because these people are selling these for $7 and they're just, it's really not worth hanging on to them, I don't think, if that's all I can get out of these, because it's so competitive and the sell-through is so bad. So why don't we look at lots, because we already did Pez Dispensers lot. That 82,000 drops down to 14, but the sell-through, so it's actually about the same sell-through. So going to my listings, I have Dinosaur Pez, lot of 3 from Slovenia. So right away, nobody's looked at it. I guess Slovenia and Yugoslavia is a good representation because Yugoslavia broke into, I believe, Slovenia and one other country. That's bothering me now that I don't remember that. Yugoslavia. I'm gonna look that up now. It's bothering me. Yugoslavia. What did it break in half to? Breakup of Yugoslavia. Oh, okay. Broke into quite a bit of stuff. Croatia, Slovenia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Macedonia, really? Okay. That's the history portion of the show. So if we see Slovenia, they're not old. So right away, we're going to get rid of dinosaurs. I got a sandwich bag back. I use a lot of these. So Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That you'd think would be all right. I don't have the whole crew, and that might be the issue. One view, 2 watchers, $8. I can't realistically go lower than that. I bet if I had all 3, it would go. Well, maybe China. Yeah, we're just going to not have that anymore. That's not going to pair with anything either, so. The fact that lots don't really sell and that the weight goes up pretty significantly on these, I don't think doing a giant random lot was going to work, because that would mean somebody getting into Pez dispenser collecting. I don't think very many people are doing that. Also, people that collect these, that I learned early on, there's like terminology for this, like floppy head. They don't want floppy head. So if you do that and it moves too easily, nobody wants it. And also they want like a stiff glider. They don't want that thing popping out when you hold it upside down. These are all good. But Star Wars. I got 2 views. I don't think there's anything special about them. Hungary, Slovenia, China. Got 1,000 days. I can't go cheaper. Those are gonna go. Animal Pez dispenser, lamb chop, Reese bear, panda. I don't know where I got all that. I thought this was Easter, but I guess it's not. Oh, freeze bear. Okay, he's issued from the Frosty. Now, his head is dangerously close to being a floppy head. I don't think any of these are particularly special. I got one watcher, but the thing is, this is going to be 8 ounces. Do I hang on to this? I'm in the mood to get rid of it. So, I'm going to chuck some more Pez dispensers. Then I have some off-brand ones, and I just should have thrown these away immediately, but when I started doing this, I thought having more listings was going to probably be the way to go. So we got off-brand Pez Pets. These are a little different. I think it had like dog bones in it versus like Pez. Something like that. So you swivel it rather than flip the head up. We got Hercules movie. Then we got this guy with like his belly. You open that up. Nobody's ever looked at it, so we're just gonna go ahead and get rid of that. We're definitely getting almost down to one bit of this stuff. Flintstones. Now, as an intellectual property, Flintstones has really fallen off. I don't think it's aged well. Probably because it was like kind of misogynist. If I recall, I didn't like it. Yeah, this is a floppy head. We can't be having this. That right away would get me blackballed from the Pez community if I tried to sell that. So nobody looked at these, and Flintstones is not coming back. Nobody's done anything with it since the John Goodman movie of like 20-something years ago. Valentine's Day. I got a watcher on this, but really... So this is the no-foot variety. There's ones that stand up, and there's ones that are like clean cut at the bottom for some reason. And there's distinctions between this. I don't know why. It's all mysterious if you're outside the Pez world. One watcher. Yeah, no. Let's move those along. Am I going to throw away this whole set? Possibly. All right, we got a lot of 12. Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Slovenia. Okay. So, free shipping, $10 for 12, and not a single person has ever looked at this. So, we did see Mickey Mouse ones selling, and I don't know why. So we're going to look real quick at that. Pez Dispensers, Mickey. So 170 Mickeys. We got an Austria Mickey. I don't know if mine's old enough. They dated these, this would be a lot. But like you see like the full eyes versus the black eyes. This is Czech Republic. So, that's after Czechoslovakia. Slovenia, Hungary. We got a lot of Mickeys. And so these are different, like different faces to a degree. There's a different hue, and then the eyes are like more like rounded here and more cartoony here. And that looks like the modern one. So Austria in the bag. I don't have Austria, I have Hungary. So all these countries that broke in half for world conflicts are rocking Pez. But is that a coincidence? Or does Pez production bring division within government? So this looks like the here. Czech Republic, Hungary, and sold for $4. So they lost money on that. Okay, well, I think this would be a good time to just dump all of these. So, you know, I go by the adage that the people buying this stuff are going to know more about it. I can't sink a lot of time into learning all the nuance, especially when it's not going to pay much. So I'm guessing after 1,000 days, this collection's pretty well picked through. All right. We have peanuts. Again, not an intellectual property that hasn't done awesome. I think it's just kind of boring. That may be why it's not resonating with people anymore. And we have a whole bunch of pens from Slovenia at $8. I can't go cheaper on this. And also, if there's a rare one, I have the country of origin in it. People would be looking at the listing and not buying it. And you see that a lot with collectibles. You'll have a ton of views on something, but nobody's watch listing it, nobody's bothering with it. It's because they're looking for a particular one and you don't have it. All right. Oh, okay. This is my Easter pens. 14, one view. It's a lot of ducks. Oh, I have one left. I have a trash can literally filled with pen dispensers at this point. I have one bag left. I must have added this at another time. And it's Lion King. And then we're going to seek out that listing. I'll have to do it on my phone. Because the eBay search feature, for whatever reason, is insufferable on PC, but works just fine on your phone. Wow, this is decimating. My listing is doing this kind of programming here. I'm down to 940. So I have an aerial Pez dispenser. I don't even know who that is. That's got to be in my Disney drawer. And then, so this is 1,000 days old. It must be further down. Maybe I lost it or something. But this has the most views on it, oddly enough. See if we can find it. We're gonna have a lot of shows to do here. We're getting into yard sales from 3 years ago. That's all good stuff, though. I priced it intentionally way too high. How did we pass this? 18. 2018. Oh, it's past the yard sale. Okay. But we're not lowering the price on any of that, so I can't even tell you the stories. There we go. So oddly, this one, 3 views, 2 watchers on this Pez. Name of the Lion King. So I'm going to do Hungary and... I'm going to keep this one. I'm going to throw it in my Disney drawer. I'm going to lower the price. Also going to put the countries of origins, because that could be why people are looking. People are watch listing it. What's Slovenia, right? No. Slovenia. Hungary. Okay. We're going to drop it to 8. And this is the lone Pez lot we're keeping because it had the most attention, and I don't know why. But yeah. We emptied a whole ass bin. I have a large bin of Disney, so that'll just go in the Disney. My Domino rally got whittled down, and I got this whole bin. What am I going to put in this? I'll probably put die-cast cars in it, because I took them out of a bin earlier today, and I didn't like doing that, but it just made sense, but I think I'll put them back in. Have some die-cast cars in there just to protect them. But anyways, if you like reseller content, toy content, like, subscribe, comment below. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time.